My name is Jaiprashant Mohanram. You are watching Car Talk, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Tata Harrier.ev. We saw this first at the 2025 Bharat Mobility Expo, and now this baby is being launched. This is the base model. The adventure model starts at 21.49 lakh rupees. Bookings open from July 2nd. We'll be experiencing the car in the middle of this month. We'll give you a drive review then. But now let's first talk about why the Harrier.ev is so special. This car makes 390 horsepower and 504 Newton meters of car. This is the most powerful production electric car in India that money can buy. An Indian car. 504 Newton meters means you get 0 to 100 time in boost mode of 6.3 seconds. This out accelerates the Mahindra XEV90. It's way more powerful. This has got two motors, one at the front, other one at the rear. That's why it makes 390 horsepower. It's got all-wheel drive because again it has two motors. Now let me give you a design overview of the Harrier.ev. Once we drive it, we'll talk about the drive. Now we're going to talk about the design. Now let's talk about the design of the Tata Harrier.ev and how it's differentiated from the diesel engine version. First things first, let's look at the grille. The grille's blanked out. Why is it blanked out? This is an electric car. There's a motor there. It's an electric motor, not a ICE motor. That's why this is blank. There's no radiator here. Instead, what you have is you've got plenty of venting to keep the electric motor cool as well. You also have an ADAS module, a radar module sitting on the front bumper. Talking about the front bumper itself, the front bumper has been reprofiled. You have a new front bumper. Now let's go towards the profile of the car and show you a bunch of things. Talking about the profile of the car, what's really changed? The alloy wheel design. It's a 19-inch wheel. Alloy wheels completely changed because this is a EV. Aerodynamics, so we've got a new design. And moving on, you've got EV badging on the door because this again is an electric car. And this is a section that's been really reinforced because this car also qualifies for the pole test. The battery survives the side pole test. Now let's go towards the rear of the car. As you go towards the rear of the car, you'll have QWD badging. Okay, this is basically because it's a all-wheel drive, quad-wheel drive. All right, and you've got a dual motor because there's a motor behind as well as in the front. So this is on the profile. It looks more or less like the ICE version except for a few changes. Even in the rear, familiarity breeds content. What you have is this beautiful connected tail lamps. Again, very similar to the ICE version with few changes. It's changed, but overall it looks very similar to the ICE version. But what's really changed is the bumper. It gets reprofiled, completely reprofiled bumper. You also have Harrier.ev badging on the tailgate. So this is what the Harrier.ev looks from the rear. Not very different from the ICE version except for a new bumper. This as well as the tail lamps, which have a slightly different design. I'm sitting in the front of the front seat of the Tata Harrier.ev. So what really strikes one as soon as you enter the car is, it's similar to the internal combustion, the diesel engine Harrier, but a lot has changed. First, let's look at the dashboard. That's where most of the changes are. You get a new pattern. Okay, this is almost a carbon fiber-like finish on the dashboard. Then you get a bunch of leather bits here. Okay, and there is some more. This is a piano black finish in the middle. And as you go on top of the dashboard, you get some soft touch plastic. So these are a bunch of changes on the front, and this is a completely new item. This is from Harman. I think it's about 39 centimeters diagonally. This has a QLED screen from Samsung. This is possibly the first car in the world to have a QLED. That's what Tata Motors have been telling us, and a lot of features because this is a software-defined vehicle, the first software-defined vehicle from Tata based on the Active EV Plus platform. We've got a bunch of features here. Just look at the kind of stuff. You've got auto park, there is climate control, you can control from here, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, obviously wireless. You've got Amazon Alexa, and you've got air purifier. You've got arcade EV, you can even play games on this. And here, this is something called DrivePay. What DrivePay is a unified payment interface for everybody. You can even make all your payments. You don't need multiple apps. You can make your charging payments, you can make your FASTag payment all through this DrivePay. And you also have Digi Access. Digi Access here means it's got a digital key. You don't have a regular key with this car. It's almost like a credit card, a digital key, an NFC. Using that, you can give multiple people access. You don't have to carry your key everywhere. The digital card, and you can give it using your smartphone. You can unlock this car if your smartphone has NFC. Now, let's talk about the steering of the Tata Harrier.ev. The steering is again a unit that we've seen on cars like the Curve and even on the Altros, more or less, this is the shape. It's not fully circular, semi-circular, and you've got this, flat bottom. So this is the steering, familiar steering, illuminated steering, and overall, this is a steering that is telescopic. It's got telescopic function and it also has tilt. So this is again carryover from the ICE version, and now you have these paddle shifters for regen, multiple. There are 4 modes of paddle shifting that you can operate here. Overall tactility for now decent. It'll be a while before we can judge all these things, but overall this is a well appointed cabin from the inside. Now let's talk about the seats themselves. Power adjustable seats, memory function, and the seats also have ventilation. Okay, now let me show you something in the center console, which is possibly the most interesting thing about this car. As you know, this is an all-wheel drive car, 1 motor in the front, 1 motor at the rear, both electric motors. And here, this is the toggle for the terrain modes. This is the jog switch. So just look at this. Okay, and you can cycle between different modes, and there's a nice tactility. It feels very tactile. It doesn't feel tacky, but very tactile. So that is something I really liked. And now this is the center console of the car, and not much has changed except this bit. That's a new addition. Electric parking brake comes here. You also have this auto hold button, and this is basically your mode selector. Drive, neutral, reverse, park, and there is this electric parking brake here. Now I'll show you there are a couple of cup holders here, and then this is some more storage. This is under the the armrest, some storage. It's a cooled glove box here, and you also have a couple of power ports for charging your devices. There's a magnetic pad here for the smartphone. It sits here, and you have 45 watt USB type C charging. And the good thing is it's got this function, the armrest. It's got a sliding function. This is very, very useful. So this is basically the interiors of the Harrier. Also want to show you the TFT display that is in the Tata Harrier. You can see range. You can see I think that is the power monitor, the amount of power that will come in there. So this is the TFT display, and there I will toggle between various modes. So that is snow, that's mud ruts, and see, these are different modes because this is a all-wheel drive car. A bunch of things, a lot of stuff is being shown there. This gives 627 kilometers according to Tata. RI claimed C75 is about 480 to 505 kilometers. Plenty of range, that is. So you can expect at least 450 kilometers of real world range with the 75 kilowatt hour battery, which is more than sufficient for regular driving. And now I want to show you one more thing. Just look at this. This is basically a digital rear view mirror. It's got a camera input. Alright, this also has a dash cam behind it, built into it. So this is something that's cool, and this is a new feature. The ICE variant doesn't have this. Now I'm sitting in the rear seat of the Tata Harrier.ev. So what you'll notice is, the first thing that you're going to notice is it's a very, very spacious rear seat. Even for somebody who's 6 foot, he's going to be quite comfortable. Plenty of headroom, and it also helps that it's got a panoramic sunroof. So it helps, and overall it's a very airy feel. It's a very spacious car. The best part again is on the floor. Absolutely flat floor. Just look at how flat it is. And I have to admit, I've sat in a lot of electric cars. Under-thigh support has always been lacking in most electric cars, but I can't say the same about the Harrier.ev. The under-thigh support is fantastic on this car, and you get this nice armrest. Overall, it's a very, very pleasant and enjoyable cabin. A lot of nice quality bits here. You've got these scooped out seats which give you more room. Everything is leather, and you also have these vents, air conditioning vents here placed very strategically, and it will hit the rear passenger individually. So that is a good thing. And finally, now let's go to the center console again. I want to show you something. You've got 65 watt, you've got 2 USB Type-C chargers. Again, this is an interesting bit which will help people who are sitting in the rear. And this is one more car that has got boss mode, wherein you can operate the front row. You can make it more spacious for the rear passengers. The rear passengers can do it themselves through the boss mode. So these are a bunch of features in the Harrier.ev that makes it quite an outstanding car, especially for people sitting at the rear. This is the electric tailgate of the Tata Harrier. So what's interesting here is it's got a flat This is where the rear, under this you have a motor sitting, and it's a flat rear boot. So placing things here and getting it out will be quite easy. It's a high boot, but placing things and getting it out will be very easy in this. 500 liters without pushing down the seats. It's a 60-40 split. You use the split seat, it goes up to about 882. We'll put it up in the video. And if you completely tumble down the seats, you get 999 liters of storage. So this is the boot for you. It's an electric boot. Now I'm closing it. We'll be driving the Tata Harrier.ev very soon, sometime in the middle of this month. So talking about the car, what Tata has managed to do is they have managed to really set the benchmark in terms of the amount of power this car has, in terms of the performance, the gradability and everything else. This car really has everything going for it. We don't know the prices of two more variants. There are three variants on offer. The Adventure, the price 21.49. The other variant is the Fearless. We don't have the price. That's the mid-trim, and the top trim is the Empowered variant. Again, we don't have prices. If Tata manages to price it well, considering the amount of features this car packs in, this can be the next EV to have. It can be a flagship EV from any Indian manufacturer. This will possibly be the EV to beat. So that's the Harrier.ev for you. So what do you think about the Harrier.ev? Do let us know in the comments below. You like this kind of content? Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to Car Talk. Thank you very much for watching.